The journey to Kenya's 2010 constitutional amendment began with the handover of Building Bridges Initiative report, which took place at Kisii State Lodge in Kisii County on October 21st this year. A journey that would lead to the official launch of the Building Bridges report on Monday, 26th October. Since Monday's event, the political scene is set to undergo changes as the document will most likely head to the National Assembly, which will most likely address any other arising matters apart from consequential amendments to the legislation arising from the bill, according to Article 255 of the Constitution.
The only situation there where you'd require a referendum is if it has protected provisions. If it doesn't have protected provisions and it is passed by the House by a simple majority, it will become a constitutional amendment. If it is not passed by the House, it then would go for a referendum if it is through the popular initiative. It's a bit of a confusing process.
The bill, according to Article 256 of the Constitution, shall be called for second reading in either House within 90 days after the first reading of the bill in the House, and then will be considered to have been passed by Parliament when each House of Parliament has passed the bill in both its second and third readings by not less than 2/3 of all members of that House.
The House is still...
The speakers of the two houses will then be required to jointly submit the amendment bill for assent and publication to the President. The President will then request the electoral body to conduct a national referendum before a 90-day period lapse. This, according to prevailing timelines, could happen as early as in the month of May 2021, with the Constitution stipulating that at least 20% of the registered voters in each of at least half of the counties vote in the referendum, and the amendment must be supported by a simple majority of the citizens voting in the referendum.
The report has two possible avenues. One avenue is that the ultimate bill, because one is assuming that this is still in draft form, the ultimate bill may or may not require a referendum. If it does not have any of the protected provisions which do not require a referendum, then it means it can go through the parliamentary route, in which case all it will need is a 2/3 majority in both the Senate and the House. If that is the route that is taken, that is not complicated because it doesn't involve any other parties other than the members of Parliament, members of the Senate.
The Kenyan Constitution under Article 255 touches on the changes that may require a referendum as those that require changes on the supremacy of the Constitution, the territory of Kenya, the sovereignty of the people, the national values and principles of governance, the term of office of the President, the independence of the judiciary and the commissions, the functions of Parliament, the objects, principles and structure of devolved governments. The Independent and Boundaries Commission being among those being targeted by the BBI proposals, whose areas are guarded by the Constitution, which experts affirm, if maintained in the final report, will necessitate changes in a referendum process.
My reading of the bill so far, I think one of the areas, by the way, where they may demand a referendum is the restructuring of the IBC, because it's changing the structure of the IBC, and that may question whether it's losing its independence, which is one of the areas that the Constitution has protected and that require referendum. The other issues, I think it's possible to argue that they may not require referendum and will only require Parliament.
The bill, however, can also be taken to the county assemblies once passed by Parliament through a popular initiative, thus avoiding a referendum. Martin Opio, K24 TV.